one of the, I mentioned 3 military schools. One of them is down there in Biloxi. Actually, a lot of people don't know that even live in Mississippi. There is
this thing sounds really good with this radio.
Gulfport and Biloxi, if I remember right, It's called Mississippi City. They don't know it exists. That's where the school was. That was for a summer school. Whatever. But, I guess, looking like Job's fortunate. I guess she did that. I don't, like I said, I think she did the best job she could. Yeah, but, you got out of there and you knew you had to go to work. You knew you had to do something. And the kids nowadays, they want to lay around. And I just don't understand it. Yeah, I had a neighbor, this is, I don't know, maybe 10 years back. I can't remember what she did. She's a single mom raising this kid. And the kid evidently had a good high IQ, smart as all get out. I knew him pretty well. Well, you want to come down, I'll pay you. Come help me do some stuff. So he comes down here, come to find out. You talk about one lazy kid. That was a big mistake asking him to come down. He wouldn't do squat. Oh, yeah. Well, Will, my youngest son, the one I'm worried about, he will, he worked good, anytime I told him to do something, cut
weeds with whatever I can here, so just been hanging out here, playing with antennas, and we're getting a lot of rain here, so a lot of rain.
Yeah, we surprisingly got hit with rain today. So I don't know if you guys heard me talking earlier.
how'd you do that?
Don't know exactly, but it was quite a flame up apparently. Angels like that. I remember when I first got that Mercury amp, I had a question. I think I emailed him on a Sunday, and it was 15 minutes later. I had an amp. I thought, well, that's a good sign. Well, the first thing I'm going to do when I get it, the software, etc., I'm going to see how it runs with the Mercury straight through. Because right now, I'm running anywhere from 4 to 7 watts right now, and I'm getting 600 to 700 out. So I'm going to try it directly into the Mercury and then see if I'm happy with the amount of power, if it's weak or wimpy, and then I'll have to decide whether I need the interim item. And I know a couple people that are using that amplifier, and I know there was some issue with the capacitors being reversed or something, which obviously would cause them to explode. So I don't know. First thing I'm going to do is get it together, get online with the software and kind of play around, drive it around the block and learn how to change the tire and change the battery and, all those things that I'm probably stupid and don't know about. And then I'll see what I want to do. But I'm pretty confident that with the output power, I should be able to get at least 500 watts out of the Mercury amp. And then like I said, I'll decide whether I want to put the interim device in there.
Copy. It's a very smart way to proceed forward, too. And I tried it, I should have tried it on this Mercury box. Just put a 1-to-1 balance, and no matter what the antenna does, you're letting the tuner do all the heavy lifting. And it might not work with the tuner in your radio, but your outboard tuner is what I'm talking about, where you have more range and more power carrying capability. Yeah,
this is the Versa Tuner 2. It is, but anyway, I don't know that it has a balance. I'll bet in the last 20 years I haven't done that more than about 5 times.
So this is just this speaker, not that now.
We get some light in the sun too, but I'm pretty cool.
Kit amp, and then they're done with it. Let me throw it up to Tom. K6FEU and the group, the SWL's KB6GFD Fresno.
Okay, very good, Dennis and Dirk. I'm wondering what kind of exciters you guys use that you only can put up 7 watts. Some homemade exciters, or I thought I heard one of you guys has a 7300. So 7300, you can probably pump out enough water to supply the mercury to its full power. Anyway, back to you. Let's see.
Things drive me nuts.
Go ahead and give me an answer, and then pass it on to Dennis, please.
People really understand equalizers and all that, help me set it up. I'm presently exciting with 13 watts and put out anywhere from a kilowatt up to 1200. And I backed it all the way down to, I think, 5 watts. Wait, let me just see here. There's 5 watts. That puts out about 500. But I brought it back up, so I was hoping I could talk to, get through with IRD.
It keeps turning this thing on. It's pissing me off.
So that's what I'm using. About 12 to 15 watts into the Mercury Lux. I'm trying not to go over 1200.
These guys are really wide, I think.
Watts with it because that's unhealthy with this amplifier. And there's conflicting reports on that, but this would wait till I get the 220 run. Dennis, back to you.
All right, Kilowatt Bravo 6, Germany, France, Denmark. I got a note here from one of the SWLs that just came on the machine. It's from Tanya in Torrance. Tanya in Torrance is listening, and she said, have Dirk look at his VFO and put it back to 3870. Yeah, probably hit it when he went to go check on something. Thank you, Tanya. And the exciter here is the Yaesu FT5000. I'm running Class A at about 5 watts. Let me take out a Class A. And now I'm at about 20 watts, and that puts the Mercury amp up to, hey, I'm seeing 4-digit output. So maybe I'm a little bit louder, but there you go. There's 20 watts, 15 to 20 watts into the Mercury. I can see I've got to adjust my SWR a bit. And that puts it up to about $1,000. I'll go back to Class A. Class A, we're back down to about 5 or 6 watts, 7 watts, and about 500 watts on the output. Over.
Okay, my report, Dennis. You were on Class A. You were 20 watts, 20 over. Sorry, and on when you went to the higher power, you were 30 over 9. Very nice signal, and the clarity of your audio improved. But
wider than 3 there.
That's usually the case when the signal gets very strong. So very interesting. And I'm not familiar with the Yaesu radios, but I didn't know you could run them on different classes. Okay, and Dirk, if you convert that
amplifier to 220, or if you're able to feed it with 220, you don't need any conversion because it's a switching power supply. If you can feed it with 220, it becomes a lot sturdier, and you can pump out as much power as you want. I've had mine up to 1,300 watts, and no problem whatsoever. Okay, back to you guys. Dirk, you take it and then pass it on. K6FU.
Thank you, Tomas. Dennis, real quick, you talked about that RF. Yes, those are. I didn't want to pay that much for them after buying my Mercury. I'm very happy with the Mercury. But Dennis, did you hear about them also talking? You can you change the attenuator on the Mercuries, and then it will do the low wattage. But if you put normal wattage in there, you blow them up. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Oh, I don't know about that. I'm assuming mine's pretty low. I mean, I'm not even 10 watts and doing pretty good drive. But the one thing I really do not like about my Mercury is that you have the relay, the RCA that says, okay, you key the radio and it whatever.
He lived through it. So we ended up calling him Lightning. Wow. Did they kick him out? Did they kick him out of the class? No, I think you...
Man must be really good. But
I bet you one damn thing. Better learn the lesson.
now, I think that radio sounds really good with the speaker, or either way, but it definitely gives it some low end that it wouldn't normally have.
I think that was the funnest. I started off my career as an electrician and then went into instrumentation and then automation. And I think we do just this. They made any adjustments in fee for that, but for the input gain or the attenuation, mine's super sensitive, so I don't think I need to adjust anything over.
To yourself, and maybe ask Angel about that specific thing. He would know. It may be an easy fix there, or just a simple adjustment and something. So it sounds like doesn't sound like you know massive amounts more than I do, but maybe bounce that off of Angel, and he might know a real simple fix. And I've never had that problem on this, but again, I don't have a professional sound system, like you do there, and there's a lot more involved with what you're doing. And yes, they said I can modify the Mercury Lux by altering the attenuator in a manner that you can only do low wattage then, and so, but that's how I get legal limit. I don't want to do that because that would void my warranty, and what if I want to use it on other radios too? So I'm kind of shrinking back from that. Tomas, do you have anything to add there to Dennis's challenges? Over to you, sir.
Okay, very good. I seem to remember that when I last read the manual for it, it said that the input was very well protected from overdriving it. And in fact, I made the mistake once of pushing 100 watts from my ICOM into it, and it didn't bat an eye. So it was, I was pretty quick stopping from doing that. And I have a transmit delay also on the ICOM. I set up my ICOM with a transmit delay, so it keys up the amp, and then it goes into transmit. And I key it up with the grounding relay that grounds the RCA in the back. Once I key it up from the ICOM or from any other radio that's connected to the system, it fires up the amp, and whether there's RF or no RF, it doesn't need RF sensing. I think there could have been a choice of inputs when I bought the amp. I know I might be confusing it with a Gemini. I have a Gemini 2 for VHF. And I remember when I ordered that one, there was a choice of input wattage that you could use to drive the amp. And you could drive it with something as low as 100 milliwatts, 200 milliwatts, or have an attenuator in there that allowed you to drive it with a little more wattage. And I remember on the Gemini, I ordered the higher drive just to be sure, just another measure of safety. But I don't remember if that was the case with the Mercury Trios. I would have to go look in the manual again and see if there was a choice of different attenuators. Anyway, mine, I remember they said something about 30 watts would give me full output, and it does on most bands. It does give me full outputs, except of course on the 10 meter and 6 meters where I have to drive it a little higher. Anyway, those are my experiences, and back to you, I guess, Dennis. Take it away, KB6 GFD K6FU.
All right, the band is still hanging in here at 75 meters. Hasn't gone long or short or, I don't know, maybe while I'm talking it'll go away. I rarely drive this with more than 20 watts. It does have, at least the Mercury 3 does, I don't know the watts, but it's got an ALC adjustment. The screw adjustment. In fact, I just left mine whatever the factory setting was. And so if I do overdrive it, it seems like it kind of ramps it up and holds it at about 1200 watts, but I rarely push the amp up that much. I know there are some issues with efficiency if you're running it low, and
It really does sound pretty good, but I don't think it's as good as this.
This is hell. This honestly, I don't know how many of them go on.
that's pretty good. But anyway, I haven't really had any problems.
But you need the speaker going. I can't reach it.
Modulate the carrier, and
It's that low end that you get out of it.
about 600 or 700 watts. That's about it. I mean, it will start running, where the second fan comes on.
But I don't even think we hardly have it on.
It will do AM. I don't think it'll do as much as
It's not on at all.
want to believe it will.
This is just that speaker.
But it's nice to have, at least 125 watt, 150 watt carrier as long as you don't. I've never tried an old Buzzard. I'll have to talk to Wayne. I've never tried an old Buzzard transmission on the Mercury to know what would happen. Anyway, this is a KB6 GFD. I will probably be stepping away from the air chair soon to do a few things, but we're comparing notes because, like I mentioned, Dirk, I've got an HL2 in the boxes that needs to get put together. I will be working it out, hopefully. Back to you, O.
Yes, okay, Dennis. What can I say about that?
Oops.
And I don't know how particular you are. A lot of people just sand the inside of the cover, and that's where your heat sink's going to attach. And so John did it too. I used I don't know what he used to do it, but I did like a mirror polish on it, on both the heat sink, all the contact mating surfaces, and then you use the thermal paste.
I don't know what 100%
so I used
really
a
means.
Dremel tool. No, I used sandpaper first, then a Dremel tool, and then a buffer with some compound. Just made it like mirror, so the mating surfaces are just like a CPU. I want it to run as cool as possible. It's probably overkill though. I think you're going to find it super, super easy to assemble and put together. So, yep. Okay, I'll put it up there to Moss. Let's see, Kilo 6, Foxtrot Echo Uniform. Oh, Tomas, on the attenuator modifications on the Mercury, my understanding and what they told me, I was warned by a number of people that I think you can't put more than 5 watts into them if you do that mod. Otherwise, it can really damage it. So that's why I really shrunk from doing that. I think that's what they told me. So, K6, FEU, back to you, sir.
Okay, roger that. Yeah, you don't want to bypass their protection system for sure. I like how my amp really reacts to bad SWR when I